returned my dad's graduation money in front of his step-peeps after he tried to give it to them instead. "Dad, this belongs to you," I said, placing the envelope with $500 cash on his kitchen counter. "Since you needed more for Ethan's birthday than for my graduation." The silence in the room was immediate. My father's face flushed as his stepchildren, the twins Taras and Ethan, and their younger brother Caleb looked up from their phones, suddenly interested in what was happening. "Tyler, we can discuss this privately," my dad said quietly, trying to slide the envelope out of view. "No, I don't think we need privacy," I replied, my voice steady despite my racing heart. "You've made your choices very publicly for 8 years. I am just acknowledging them. Let me back up. When I was 4, my parents divorced but maintained joint custody. Dad was present and engaged until Jane and her 3 kids entered the picture when I was 10. From that point on, I became increasingly aware of a pattern. My needs, my events, my time with my father always seemed negotiable when it came to his new family. The first major incident I remember was when I was 12. Dad had promised to take me camping for my birthday. Just the two of us. 2 days before he informed me we'd be going to Great Wolf Lodge instead because the twins wanted to go. When I said I'd rather stick to our original plan, he told me I was being selfish. "You need to understand that I have other children to consider now," he explained. "Family means compromise, but the compromises always seem to come from me." When I was 14, I saved up for months to buy us tickets to see our favorite band. Dad had promised to drive and make it a special night. The day before the concert, he called to cancel. Caleb wanted his room repainted before school started, and that took priority. "We'll do something else soon," he promised. We never did. At 15, I broke my arm during soccer practice. Mom was out of town, so the coach called my dad. He never showed up at the hospital. One of the twins was having a routine tonsillectomy, and both he and Jane needed to be there. He called my mom and asked her to cut her business trip short instead. "Tell Tyler I am proud of how brave and understanding he's being," he told her. I never said I understood. I never said I was okay with it. The final straw came during my junior year. My debate team qualified for nationals in Chicago. Mark could only afford half the cost, and Dad had promised to cover the rest a week before payment was due. He called to say he couldn't help after all. The twins' birthday was that month, and they wanted a big party. "We can do something special as a family instead," he offered that night. I told him I was moving in with Mom full-time. "At least there, I actually matter," I said before hanging up. Mom borrowed money from her sister to send me to Chicago. I came home with a second-place trophy that still sits on my dresser. When graduation approached, Dad seemed genuinely remorseful. He gave me $500 for my graduation party, promising he'd be there to celebrate this milestone. For a moment, I believed him. Then came the call last week. Ethan was being bullied at school. He needed cheering up. The money would really help give him a special birthday standing in his kitchen now, I continued. "I won't be needing this money after all. Mom and I will handle my graduation celebration ourselves, and you don't need to attend. I wouldn't want to pull you away from more important obligations, Tyler." "You're being dramatic," he said, his voice tense. "Family is complicated." "No, Dad, family isn't complicated. Priorities aren't complicated. You've shown me yours for 8 years. I am finally accepting them." As I turned to leave, Taze spoke up. "That's not fair. Dad loves you too." I paused at the door. I'm sure he does in his way, but love without action is just a word. My phone has been blowing up since Dad, saying we need to talk like adults, Jane accusing me of traumatizing her children, even the twins texting that I am being selfish. I blocked them all. Some might call it petty to return the money so publicly, but after years of public disappointments, it felt like the most honest thing I've ever done. My graduation is next Friday. For the first time, I am not hoping Dad will show up and prove me wrong.